ABC television. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Welcome back, everybody, to Dead Air. My name is Siena Anzaldua, if you're new here. And no, this is not a new co-host, as badly as I want her to be. This is my mom! We are joined finally by Miss Shaunia Anzaldua, a horror fanatic and a second grade teacher. Ma, say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Well, duh, of course. We have to see the woman who started this all, this fanaticism. I don't know the actual word for it.
We knew what you were saying.
Thanks, Mom.
We knew what you meant.
Thanks, Ma.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So if you're new here, I go over all things horror that's happening in the Central Valley. So I'll have multiple guests and stuff. And we just got finished with our Eli Roth deep dive, and today we're kind of an in-between phase, and we're going to go over 1978's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And oh my god, I'm excited.
Me too. I am so extremely excited about this movie. It's one of my favorites. I grew up watching this movie, and as a consumer of plants in more ways than one.
Right to jail.
It's one of my favorites.
And as always, we're going to start with our horror movie summary. So alien life forms from a dying planet arrive on Earth as mysterious seed pods capable of creating emotionless human duplicates. Me on a Monday.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
When San Francisco Health Department scientist Elizabeth Driscoll discovers her boyfriend Jeffrey has become strangely distant, she fears he has been replaced by an imposter. She turns to her friend Matthew Bennell for help, and together they uncover a horrifying invasion in which the alien pods replicate people while they sleep, slowly replacing humanity. Along with friends Jack and Nancy, Matthew and Elizabeth attempt to expose the threat and escape the growing army of duplicates. But the aliens' plan proves nearly unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
As society collapses around them, Matthew fights to survive and destroy the source of the invasion, only to discover that the replacements have already taken over, including someone he trusted most. This is the first theme song, and she has not heard this a cappella yet.
Oh.
Are you ready, Mom?
I'm ready.
This is Siena's and Ma's thoughts. Siena's and Ma's thoughts. Siena and Ma's thoughts. It's Siena's and Ma's thoughts. Okay, Ma. Let's start with you because you're so flippin' excited, and that makes me really excited. What are some of your thoughts on this movie?
Well, first of all, that was a beautiful song.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay. Well, like I said, the first thought that came to my mind is that just the gaslighting.
Gaslighting definition.
When Brooke Adams, which is Elizabeth,
Yes.
when she tries to tell everyone what's going on, nobody wants to believe her, especially the men. Shocker. And then I can't remember the doctor's name, Leonard Nimoy. I know that's the actor, but
I don't know
he
his name either.
tries to do this weird psychologist crap to get her from thinking that she's not going crazy or thinks she's, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, where did you go to school? Really? Because, oh my God, I had no idea what he was trying to do. But
Yeah,
ultimately gaslighting her.
Love that.
And it's just, she knows, she's not following her instinct. Well, she knows her instincts basically. And she's trying to get everybody to see what she sees, and just nobody would believe her until Donald Sutherland, which is Matthew, finally sees it for himself.
Yeah. I would agree. The friggin' gaslighting in this movie is ridiculous, dude. And then Leonard Nimoy, why is he so freaking violent in this movie? He's like, and how did that make you feel? What? How do you think it made me feel? It was scary.
And then pushing Jeff Goldblum.
That's, yeah.
Hello. No one pushes Jeff Goldblum.
Nobody puts Jeff Goldblum in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But another thing is just how these simple forms of aliens overtake the world by taking the core of humanity, taking first, their emotions, all their emotions away, and then, of course, attacking them when they're asleep. I'd be doomed. I'd be doomed. Because, who doesn't love to sleep?
It's true.
Yeah, just ask my, youngest son, Arai, who loves to sleep. So, yeah.
So, I would definitely agree. I think gaslighting is such a huge proponent.
Onions, garlic,
Onions, garlic, celery, balsamic vinegar.
tomato paste.
That's a big word for Elmo.
I've got to start from the beginning. So, just setting up this movie, I think the opening scene of this movie is so good. It's so simple, I think, because you get this goop in space. And you get this goop in space, and it's doing the whole smoke thing and all that stuff. And then you see Jupiter. And so you automatically assume, okay, the goop went from this planet to Jupiter, and then Jupiter to Earth, because then it pans to Earth or whatever. And it's just, like I said, it just looks like somebody took hand sanitizer and threw it on a plant, and that's our alien. And so going from there, the cast in this movie is so freaking stacked, Ma.
Yes.
And you know a lot more of these people than I do because you grew up with them, I feel like. So you get Jeff Goldblum, Jurassic Park, The Fly.
The Fly. Oh.
Like so many movies, horror movies that he's in. Then you get
That is not correct.
Donald Sutherland, which to me, I don't really think that he's very horror movie.
No, but he's related to Kiefer Sutherland from
is.
The Lost Boys.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then you get Brooke Adams, who's she's in other stuff.
Yeah, I don't think she's I don't know of any other horror movies that she's in.
And then you get Veronica Cartwright, who's The Birds. You get
Alien. She's an alien. She's in The Town That Dreaded Sundown. She's also, believe it or not, she's in Scary Movie 2.
Is she really?
Yes, she is.
Oh, Mom's fun fact.
Yeah.
Woo,
Yeah.
Mom's fun fact.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get Leonard Nimoy, who is not a horror guy, I feel like, either.
But sci-fi.
Yes, very
Sorry.
sci-fi. Is very sci-fi. Star Trek, The Next Generation, sailing across the universe.
And that's the thing,
yeah.
I feel like I love science horror,
Yeah.
science fiction horror. And,
Yeah.
and this is one of the ones that got me into horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
And so, from that, like you were talking about that glob at the beginning.
Yeah.
That makes me think of War of the Worlds.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
because that's how that movie starts out.
Yeah.
And so just something so simple that turns into an overtaking of the world, which is really cool.
It's so cool, and that's to me, I think that's what really deepens the true horror in this movie, is because it's I'm gonna call it hand sanitizer because that's just kind of what it reminds me of. But just this gloop of hand sanitizer completely overtaking Earth and just really giving us that feeling of dread of we can't really do anything to stop this, and we just have to kind of go with it, and we don't have any control over how this works. So.
Yeah, and not just that, but something so basic as, let's go smell a flower, that can cause, such chaos and take over everything. So
Yeah.
that is, really cool. Very cool
so
concept.
Creepy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Brooke Adams, I feel like she really did such a good job in this movie because it was so subtle. Everything in this movie is so subtle, but you can feel it, and that's such a powerful aspect in this movie. It's it's just the subtlety.
Yes.
Subtlety.
Yes.
So it's Brooke Adams is look at this flower. I've never seen this flower, and she calls it I can't remember, like a grec or something. I can't remember what she calls it. She's like, but yeah, it's a grec and it's dangerous, but not to people, just to the environment. So it's like that foreshadowing.
And not just that, but I think like, you know, even when she starts like looking it up, you know, I tried looking up this flower, but couldn't find it anywhere. And people are just brushing it off. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, it's something that, you know, we see every day and just brush it off.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
Yeah, it just makes it that much more creepy, and it's
Yes.
it's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the cast, I think that opening shot is so good. I just want to talk about like the way that they shot this movie is so good. So like we started with like the aliens landing and plopping, I think is a better word for it, plopping onto Earth, and then like just the pure talent it takes, because when you go through this movie, I feel like there's not really any jump scares in this movie at all. It's all, like I said, it's all very subtle in the way it's filmed. It's all very like just subtle, I feel like is the best word for it. So this movie does such a good job. The director, I don't know off the top of my head, but the way that he was able to make the movie really feel creepy in your gut, and you're not even like you're not even seeing anything has happened really yet, but throughout the movie it's just so creepy, and you don't know what it is exactly, but you can tell something is off. And that to me directly reflects how Brooke Adams felt about Jeffrey, where it's just like and you can tell, you as the audience can tell, but being in that headspace of Brooke Adams, being like, oh, I could see how something like that would really trip you up, where it's like you're just sitting there and she gets home from work and he's very lovey-dovey and all this kind of stuff. He pulls her in for a kiss, all this kind of stuff. And then the flower is sitting next to him when he's sleeping. And then the next day he's like, boom, I've got to go. I'm sorry, I've got to go. It's like 6:45 in the morning. She set the alarm. I've got to go. I've got a meeting.
Hello? Look at this flower. Jeffrey, my God. How long have you been up?
Not long.
What are you doing? Jeffrey? Jeffrey?
And then...
And not just that, though. He breaks the vase.
Yes, he does.
And it's like, okay, that's odd. It's like, okay, you're trying to hide something.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then just so stoic, you know, just no emotion at all. Again, losing that humanity. Yeah, it just makes us who we are.
Yeah.
So, you know, right off the bat, it's like, okay, you know something's wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's like... It's one of the best parts about this movie. It's just, everything is so incredibly subtle. And like, Mom, you know more than anybody, but like, for me, I love the gore. I love all of that kind of stuff, but there's something about not really having any gore in this movie.
Well, actually, there is a little bit of gore. Do you remember when they crush... No. When Donald Sutherland crushes his own body.
Yeah. Like all the different bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so he crushes it. I'm like thinking, why is blood coming out when he's crushing it? Shouldn't it be green goo or something?
Yeah. Yes, that is partially gory, but to me... You know what? Yeah, that is.
Yeah, because he's smashing in his face and the blood is gushing out, you know?
That is
But I
true.
think it's a different type of gore, because
sure.
like when the dog... What was it, Frank and the dog enmeshed, so reminded me of the thing.
Oh, yes.
When they enmeshed, and it's like, oh.
And it's his face and it's
Yeah.
the dog. And actually, I was watching this movie yesterday, because I watch all my horror movies at work so I can traumatize my fellow coworkers.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
You might want to cut that out. That's on work hours. So
Cut that.
now they have evidence.
Oh, crap. And, like, I'd never noticed it, but it actually, like, when Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams are running down the street and like trying to make it look really no, this was before that. I can't remember, but like they're running away with the group and you can actually see the dog and the man like shivering, but you don't know exactly what's happening, but they're like shivering. And that's all you see until you see the dog and the guy's face enmeshed.
No, I think there's actually a part after that. I could be wrong, but there's there a part towards the end before Brooke, sorry, spoiler alert, before Brooke turns. Actually, I think it's before they even get into the cab.
Okay.
Where they're laying right next to each other.
Yes,
the dog and the guy.
Yeah.
Frank, I think it is. They're laying right next to each other and they're asleep. And I think he tries to wake them up. That's when they enmesh, and that's why I believe that's why they enmesh, yeah.
Hurry, Pooch, wake up.
Look, there's a pod.
Oh, okay, maybe that's the part I saw then.
Yeah.
Because I just remember, I'm like, because we've seen this movie millions of
Yes.
times. And it's like, sometimes when you rewatch a movie and you see those little things, this is one of the best movies to do that with, because I noticed that and I was like, I never noticed that you actually see them, but like before they're enmeshed, but like they're still in that transition area type of thing.
And just to think this movie is 48 years old.
Yeah.
You know, to have those kinds of, what is it, special effects?
Yeah, the special effects.
Yeah, for that time. I mean, wow, it's pretty cool.
It's so cool, and it's just like, because again, was this after The Thing? I think this was probably
I think it's before, because it's 1978. This movie was made in 1978.
80s.
Yeah.
So it's very much like, you can see the origin of like, okay, this is probably where John Carpenter got a lot of his inspiration for The Thing. So it's just, it's so good. Yeah. The score in this movie is so good. Again, it's so subtle, and the composer for this movie, Denny Zetlin, he was really known for being very minimalist with all of his score and all that kind of thing. And so you can tell that within this movie, and I won't go like super into it, but I think it's just so interesting because, again, you don't really get a lot of music in here. You're getting the ambient sounds, you're getting the traffic and the people's steps and the shuffling of papers rather than actual like music score rather. And so that's really what Denny Zetlin was known for. And then also the best part of this movie and the most interesting aspect of these aliens is their screaming.
Oh God.
So throughout so the screaming in this movie is its own type of music. So you get it throughout the movie where it's like a warning call from alien to alien, and they're like, ah, and it's like, oh look, there's a person over there that hasn't changed. And then you get Veronica Cartwright at the very end, the probably best ending ever in a horror movie.
See, it is, but to me, it all goes back to John Carpenter, Night of the Living Dead, where...
That's not John Carpenter.
Nope, sorry. Oh my gosh.
Who's... John Carpenter didn't make Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
Am I wrong? It's
George Romero.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, you're fired.
Oh God. Cut that part out.
Cut that.
Sorry, George Romero. It reminds me of Night of the Living Dead, the original, where, you know, the guy comes out and they all shoot him. It's the same, to me, in my opinion, it's the same concept. She's the only one who survived. She survived by acting like everybody else. And Donald Sutherland calls her out, you know. Yes,
and
yes.
He screams at her.
Yes.
Oh, so creepy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. And you were talking about the score. And one of the songs that they play is Amazing Grace. I believe that's what it is. Amazing
Mom's fun
Grace.
fact, guys.
I believe it is. Check on that. But the way they play it is so eerie.
Oh.
Yes. And so, yeah. So I just wanted to add that.
That's what I love about horror movies is you're taking something that is so seemingly innocent and good, and if you just tweak it a little, if you just make it a little slower, if you just up the bass on it a little bit, it's so creepy.
Speaking of another creepy part, the one that always gets me, and I don't know, is when Matthew is in his office and he's just sitting there, and he's already turned. He's sitting there and he's cutting the newspaper.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that just, for some reason, it just creeps me out because this is something that he doesn't normally do. And it's just creepy.
It's
just so creepy.
I think another one is like, again, it's because they do it so subtly in this movie, and I just can't stop freaking saying that word. That's the word of the day. Subtle.
No, it is very subtle.
Is that when he calls for help or he calls the police and he's like, hello, I need the police, in his little accent or whatever, I need the police.
Oh,
and then they go,
gosh.
Mr. Matthew, what's his last name?
Burnell.
Mr. Burnell, we're sending help right now. And he goes, I never told you my name. And then Jeff Goldblum's like, hang up the phone, Matthew, hang up the phone. And he goes, I never told you my name. And then Jeff Goldblum's the one who has to hang up the phone. And that's when they
Speaking of him talking, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but Donald Sutherland is Canadian. And when he says a boot, oh.
Now, people, this is probably my mom's favorite theme song. And she's going to be able to finally hear it a cappella. Mom, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Because we are at Siena's Fun Facts. They're fun and they're facts where you learn a little something. Siena's Fun Facts. Fun fact number 1, Mom. The famous Pod People scream was made using pig sounds.
Oh.
So the terrifying high-pitched scream used by the Pod People was not created entirely from human voices. Sound designer Ben Burt, best known for his work on Star Wars, created the sound by manipulating pig squeals and combining them with other organic noises.
I hope no animals or no pigs were hurt in the process.
Yeah, or else you're swine.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That was a pity laugh from my mom, guys. Fun fact number 2. The film sneaks in cameos from the original movie's creators. So director Philip Kaufman included several connections to the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers as an homage. So original director Don Siegel appears as the taxi driver who gives Matthew and Elizabeth a ride, while original star Kevin McCarthy appears as the frantic man running through traffic, warning people that they're coming.
And I believe he's in other horror movies. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I believe so. What's
really cool is actually that same scene mirrors his character from the 1956 film.
Look! You fools, you're in danger! Can't you see? They're after you! They're after all of us! Our wives, our children, everyone! They're here already! You're next!
And that's what connects both films together.
Oh, I love me some connections.
Fun fact number 3. Robert Duvall's strange swing scene was a last-minute addition. So at the beginning, when he's on the swings, the priest...
Oh, was that Robert Duvall?
It's a fun fact.
No way.
Early in the movie, a bizarre man on a playground swing warns Matthew and Elizabeth about danger before disappearing into chaos. So, yeah, when he's swinging.
That is really surprising to put priests near children.
Mom!
Oh my God, what the hell?
Oh yes, he filmed the small role. Obviously, he wasn't paid for it, and it became a subtle piece of foreshadowing because his character seems to sense the emotional emptiness spreading through the city.
And that's another thing. Like with these characters, have you noticed a lot of them would just stare? Mm-hmm. Like when that part, but then when Elizabeth and Matthew are in the hallway of their office,
yes,
and the guy's just staring at them through the window.
Yes, that or like when they're meeting Leonard Nimoy for the first time, and everyone's just staring at everybody, and it's like, y'all, why are you freaking staring at me?
It gave me a lot of, I guess it's called the bystander effect, where everybody just watches and doesn't do anything.
Yes. That's such a good point.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You're kidding me. Fun fact number 4. The movie used real San Francisco locations to make the horror feel real. So instead of creating the fictional city, the filmmakers shot throughout San Francisco using recognizable locations like the Transamerica Pyramid, Alamo Square, and like actual neighborhood streets.
That's cool.
So again, I think this really helped ground the realism in this movie, and like this could actually happen. That's really scary.
Yeah, it really is. But that makes it just so much better.
Yeah.
You know, makes it more realistic, and those are the best types of movies.
Yeah. Scary.
Scary.
Fun fact number 5. The ending reaction was completely genuine. So the iconic final scene where Matthew points at Nancy and unleashes the pod people scream is obviously very famous, probably the most famous scene in this movie. So Veronica Cartwright explained that she did not know what the ending would be. So she didn't know that scene before it actually happened. And Philip Kaufman had planned when filming the moment so that her terrified expression was that much more authentic.
Very cool. I'm not going to lie, I tuned out for a minute there.
Mom!
Sorry, it's ADD.
Rude as hell.
Or ADHD, I've got one of those.
Here's a bonus
pizza.
fun fact.
Ooh, a
okay?
bonus.
The strange dog-human hybrid during the film was created through practical effects.
That's what it was, practical effects.
Yeah, practical effects. And you can tell. So the dog wore a special mask, and the crew used like something sweet placed into the mask, so to like encourage the dog to move his tongue for the movement in the mask.
Very cool. That is really cool. Why are you looking at me like that? She's looking at me like I'm lying. Like I'm not listening again.
There's an optimal word there. Again.
She does not know me at all.
We're going on to scarometer.
Scarometer, that meters as you get scared. Scarometer, the meter as you get scared. Did I nail it?
You nailed it, Ma. You freaking nailed it, Ma. It's like you watch my show every Friday.
I know,
at 9
it's
p.m.
like acapella. Did I say that right?
Acapella.
Acapella, yeah.
You were close. Mom, how would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. I want to say a 9.5.
A 9.5? Okay.
A 9.5 because the concepts are good. There's some gaps that it's like, okay, really? But it's an old comfort movie. This is a movie that I can just put on and crochet, do whatever I want to do. It's just a comfort movie. I can sleep to this. I can fall asleep to this. But there are some gaps in it, and it just, I don't know. And maybe because of the age of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, could that really happen? Or, that kind of thing. But that's horror movies.
Yeah, that's horror movies for you.
But I do love the concept of the movie, and I feel like in the bigger picture, there are some, social aspects to it that if you conform, you lose yourself, and I really love that. I love when movies, especially horror movies, I don't know why I keep getting close to the mic, but, where it teaches you something about society.
Yeah.
you know, and so we just can't lose ourselves. Yeah.
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 Yeah. For me, I think I would have to agree. I think this movie is probably a 9.5 out of 10 for me. And I think it's just, sorry for the 50th time, I think it's just the subtlety and really the talent it makes to have that subtlety actually work in a horror movie. Because horror is really known for being in your face, it's really scary, jump scares, that type of thing. I think when people first think of horror, that's what they think of. And this, I feel like this movie was one of the jump starts to giving more subtle nuances to horror and what is actually scary and what does society actually deem to be scary. Yeah. So I think Invasion of the Body Snatchers really put that at the forefront and made it so that it's placed itself in horror history, and it's just unforgettable. And yes, we are the type of household to fall asleep to horror movies. I mean, a few weeks ago I fell asleep to watching, what was it? I think it was Cabin Fever or something.
Well, I fall asleep to Haunt, Hell House.
Yeah.
So
that's the type of household we are, and the best type of household.
And I'm okay with that. I agree with you, because now, you know, back then, horror was considered just all gore.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think now there's so many subgenres within horror. You know, you got your subtle, you got your gore, you've got your, you know, paranormal, etc. And it's just, that's what makes horror so good. So good.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
And if you like horror, you got to get into reading horror. So much better.
This is where it all started, folks. This is where it all started. My love for horror, my love for reading. This is the woman right here. She did it. You can blame her. You can thank her however you see fit. That's where it started. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Mom, thank you so much for being on today. And I hope y'all are ready, because now she's gotten a taste and it's all over for here. She's going to be on like every freaking week.
I actually really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. So thank you for having me, and I can't wait to come on again.
Woo!
I have watched a lot of scary movies. So
she has. She's the master, dude. She is the master.
Yep.
Well, folks, that's all for this evening. And remember, don't split up and don't go into the basement. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know why you keep getting
I don't
close.
know. That's what happens when elongated things were in front of my face.
Mom! Mom!
Is this being recorded?
Come on.
I'm just throwing my thoughts everywhere and seeing where they stick.
Throwing them out willy-nilly, Ma. You can't do that here.
Well,
don't you know we don't ad-lib here at all.